we're going to talk about all these things. Again, these aren't all happening in week one. I'm just showing you. Now, I've spent a lot of time developing each one of these weeks so I don't overwhelm you. And you get the full week to watch the live session as much as you need, to absorb the videos that were created for the 6-week soloing course, all of that stuff, and plan it out so you don't get overwhelmed. So then by the time week 2 comes, now we've got a whole secondary plan to add on to the stuff that we did in week 1. And that's why it's important for you to set aside time. Okay? If you're going to register for this thing, and I certainly hope you do because it's going to be a lot of fun and I'm looking forward to hanging out with you. But you've got to be ready to set aside a little time to do this. I'm not saying 6 hours a day. I don't know how much it is, right? It might be 20 minutes a day. It might be 30 minutes a day. But I want you to get the most out of it. And the wonderful thing about this stuff is even after the 6 weeks are done, you still have access to everything. So you can keep learning it as long as you need to. The live sessions you'll have access to, the recorded stuff you'll have access to, you'll have everything, okay? So just think about that a little bit. So that's week 1, is assessing the situation, thinking about the musical situation, thinking about you and how these two things are going to work. What is composition? What is improvisation? How do they work together? And then, like I said, listening and not only deciding on scales and things like that, but deciding on your approach to the extent of even things like guitar tone and stuff like that. So hopefully that makes sense. Derek, I hope you're out there. If anybody's got any questions, you can certainly ask Derek. Watch for that link or the button or whatever it is for registering for this thing. See the bonuses, all that stuff. See if it's something you're interested in. And again, May 2nd. In my brain, I keep thinking May 5th, but it's May 2nd. That's when this starts. Okay? So week 2. Now, week 2, we start dealing with things like timing and how to approach our timing on things. So let me go to my week 2 here. There we go. So what I've got written here is we're going to be dealing with, for instance, pentatonic, diatonic, and chord chasing. Different approaches of scales. Now, we're still just building here, okay? And then timing and tightness. When you play, deciding how loose you want your solos to sound or how tight. And a lot of times when you think about this, I'm going to use an example for you. I think of rhythm as being locked in or free, okay? That's how I think about it. So when a rhythm is locked in, like now, this song is going. Again, this is not appropriate tone for the rhythm, right? It's my soloing tone, but I'm not going to keep changing it. Just leave it for now. That's my rhythm. Okay, so I can lock into that by thinking about my quarter note, eighth note, 16th, mostly my eighth note, 16ths. Right? So I'm locking into that rhythm, and notice how I'm giving it a groove. Doom, ba-dum, boom, boom, ba-dum, boom, boom. And I'm thinking about that. Now, the scale that I'm using right now is not G pentatonic, G major pentatonic. I'm using G diatonic, G major. And again, don't worry, I'm just showing you. You can learn all this stuff. Okay? So let me find my music again. I have so many windows open here. Here we go. Sorry about that. So I'm going to get that out of the way. There we go. Okay, so let me start this all over again and show you that kind of rhythm. So right now I'm not focusing on chord chasing right now. I'm just focusing on my rhythm. Okay? Now, here would be an example. So there I'm trying to find the bump, 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 bump kind of groove or timing. And then I'm giving it a bit of a groove. Okay? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I would approach this from a free rhythm kind of standpoint. Free timing, if you will. So here we go. Okay? So, almost a bit more Satriani in nature, where I'm playing freely over it. And what I do is I tend to combine both of those things, where I'll be going... and then... whatever. So we want to learn how to do that, okay? We want to be able to decide, and this is all sort of dictated by the tempo as well. Depending on the tempo, if the song is really fast, I don't have as much choice. You know, if the song's going, I don't have a lot of space for free because it's already so fast. So it depends on the musical situation. That's why we learn all that stuff in week 1. If we're playing over a metal tune, we might approach it far different than we might play over a rock tune or pop. And when I say pop, I don't mean like Miley Cyrus, although it could be. The track I'm playing over right now is pretty much pop. It's not rock or blues or metal, or it's just music. So for me, pop is a general term that just means anything, right? When I start doing... now it's got more of a rock and roll kind of feel. Or if I'm going... well, now it's a little more bluesy, right? Or... now it's more of a metal-y kind of thing. And the approaches that we take might be vastly different, but sometimes they're not. It just depends. My assessment is still the same. I listen, decide what my options are, and my approach should be dial in a tone that kind of fits whatever it is I'm trying to do, and then try and, for lack of a better term, sell the sound of whatever it is that music is offering. I'm trying to become part of that music. And I always use this as an analogy, like when you're driving down the interstate and somebody passes you, but they don't pass you, so now you're stuck driving next to each other, right? You're not together, right? They're in a car and they've got their whole own world, and you're in a car and you've got your own whole world. It's just for that temporary amount of time. It's this awkward thing where you're both driving at the same speed, and then eventually you're not, and then they move off in their world and you move off in yours. Sometimes soloing is like that for people, where they're not connecting to the music at all. They're just awkwardly trying to do something that coexists in the same, time and space for a short amount of time, and then it's over. That's a bummer, because that isn't really the approach music should ever be. We want to connect to that music. And in order to do that, we got to get to know the music, just like these two people would need to get to know each other, or these two families, right? So always be thinking about that. I think that's really, really important. Okay? So week 3, okay, just summarizing some stuff here. There's a whole lot more that I'm talking about, but I just want to get you prepped and excited about this, because you can do this. You can elevate your soloing game, but it's going to take some work on your part, and I want to be a part of that, and I want to help you with that. Okay? Live, hanging out with each other. So week 3, connecting chords. So we're not just playing scales. Like, that's the big thing, is trying to avoid scales and just making your song sound like you're just playing scales up and down. So in week 3, we're looking at melodic soloing, connecting to the chords when we need to. Okay? You don't do it all the time. Like what I was showing you in week 1, where I was doing G, B, C, D. That's a great place to start. It doesn't mean every time I play, I'm going to do that. I might, like Satriani, when you think of... you'll make a connection, and then you'll go off. And then you'll reintroduce that connection, and then you'll go off, and then you'll reintroduce. And there's multiple ways of introducing that, depending on what you're trying to do in your solo. You might not be building a theme like that's a theme. And the point of the theme is it's singing on the guitar. So when somebody hears it, they know what it is. If I'm just playing, I'm not building a theme. That's not bad. It's just I have to understand that when I go into it, deciding what I want to do with this, okay? So if I'm going to build a theme, my theme might be G, B, C, D, right? My theme might be something else. But at some point, I'm going to go off from there. So if I think about that tune again, this is week 3 now, developing that melodic soloing, and then we're going to use melodic tools like bending, vibrato, hammer-ons, pull-off slides, all of those things to make it sound more real. So if I want to make this into a melodic style idea, again, I'm prepping here, right? Doing my pre-composition, if you will, okay? Right? And again, I'm not doing anything fancy, right? I'm serving the song. I'm writing a story. So I've got my G. Here comes that B minor. Here comes that C. And then my D. And then we got to get back to G again, so I have to decide what I want to do. And then here comes that B. Well, I could stay and go. And then here comes C, so I could decide to do something else. D. I mean, there's just a million approaches using scales and arpeggios and things like that. Thinking about my phrasing, thinking about dynamics, right? So everything isn't the same volume all the time. Everything isn't the same length all the time. You know, when you add space, it really adds a wonderful dynamic to what it is you're doing. So these are all things we're going to do. So I think right now we're going to try and show you a video if we can do this. I'm not sure how to do this. So Derek, if you know how to make this video happen, this would be good. Okay. I think I just do this, but we'll check here. So hopefully this video will roll. It'll show you a little bit about the 6-week soloing challenge, and then we'll be back. Okay. So I think this is right. Here we go. If you want to play guitar solos with complete confidence that sound more fluid and musical than ever before, or play solos over different styles of music in a live band where you're effortlessly trading licks with fellow musicians, and ultimately have more fun playing guitar, then you're going to want to pay close attention and watch this video the whole way through, because you're about to discover a simple way to combine fretboard knowledge, scales, modes, chords, triads, licks, melody, technique, speed, and accuracy into an awesome solo that tells a story instead of sounding like random notes or a scale. Without spending months trying to figure out how to pull all the pieces of the puzzle together yourself, just to end up confused or picking up a bunch of bad habits that could prevent you from ever playing guitar solos like you want to. My name is Steve Stine, and I'm a guitar player just like you. Even though I have a degree in music education and have toured across the world playing guitar, I've always thought the way soloing is taught, in pieces without a clear way to put them all together to play a great solo, was overwhelming. Maybe I'm old school or something, but I never really got how some people can learn soloing by mastering hundreds of scales, patterns, licks, and spending hours on fretting and picking exercises. And I've tried all kinds of stuff, like I'm sure you have, and it sure has been frustrating. Like going through dozens of tab books, going through my favorite solos note by note, spending hours digging through every scale book I could find, and practicing every position up and down the fretboard. Or playing along to solos by my favorite guitar players that sound good, but not being able to create my own from scratch. After spending all this time and money, soloing just never really clicked. I thought, there surely must be something I'm missing that will give me an aha moment where I can play fluid and melodic solos in my own signature style. That's when I decided to throw everything I'd learned out the window and start from scratch. After a few weeks, it dawned on me that I'd been thinking about soloing the wrong way. You see, I always thought solos were made of pieces of scales, licks, patterns, and whatever cool tricks I could do, but I discovered a shocking fact. Guitar solos simply tell a story. A story-based solo goes through several sections: an introduction, rising action, and a climax. It might restate or build on a theme or melody from the song. It sounds awesome because it serves the song and audience instead of the guitar player. When I learned how to tell a story, my guitar solos improved tremendously. I never had problems trying to figure out how to start or end my solos, and never ran out of ideas because I was laser focused on telling a story within the song. I started sharing this with some of my private students, and they started getting similar results. I want to share it with you too, and I found the best way to break down old patterns, keeping you from playing solos at a high high level and ensure that you're improving your solos day after day, week after week, is my new 6-week soloing challenge. Now here's some of what you're going to discover. In week 1, we're going to talk about how to set up and tune your guitar to get the best tone with the least amount of effort. The critical difference between planned playing and improvisation. Why good technique can kill your ability to make music and how to fix it. A simple way to create your own signature style that doesn't take hours of practice. In week 2, we're going to learn how to develop razor-sharp timing in 10 minutes using a metronome. How to dial in your signature sound using your existing gear. A simple 3-step soloing formula that trains your brain to hit the right notes even if you don't know scales. In week 3, we're going to learn a quick and easy way to visualize notes on the fretboard, which means you'll always know where to place your fingers when you're soloing. How to play the most important scales for soloing across the fretboard. In week 4, we're going to learn how to use phrasing and dynamics to play authentic solos that never sound like a boring scale. One simple 3-note per string pattern to play lightning fast licks even if you struggle with alternate picking. How to create a groove that tells a story in your solos. In week 5, we're going to learn how to use escape routes to connect ideas and play musical solos across the fretboard without getting stuck. 5 picking patterns every lead guitar player must know. And in week 6, we're going to learn how to build an impressive guitar solo from the ground up the right way, so you have a proven plan to begin and end your solos with a bang. This 6-week soloing challenge isn't just 6 weeks of videos. It's going to be 6 weeks of videos interacting with me, the GuitarZoom staff, and fellow challenge members. I'll be going live once per week for 6 weeks with you, which I've never done before, so I can help you wire in all the things you'll learn during the challenge, and you'll have an opportunity to ask me questions. You don't have to worry if you can't make it because I'll post the recordings in the private Facebook group and your members area. What makes this different from my other courses is there'll be accountability as well. You'll have activities to keep you engaged throughout the challenge so you stay motivated and see real, noticeable improvements in how you think about and play solos. Plus, you'll be going through the entire process with a group of like-minded guitar players who are focused on playing better solos. And the encouragement you find and connections you make on this journey will be so powerful. Similar good courses cost hundreds of dollars or even $1,000 at Berklee College of Music online. Or you can do like I did and spend thousands of dollars in college learning what I'm going to show you. With all that said, this could easily sell for $1,000. After all, similar courses sell for $1,497. Of course, it won't cost you $1,000, not $500, not even $100. You get to enroll in the 6-week soloing challenge for just 3 payments of $26.80. Or you can save 17% if you want to make 1 payment of $67. Another one of the most important things you can develop as a guitar player is your technique. That's why I've included my 6.5-hour Essential Techniques course as a special bonus. You'll learn the secrets of building your picking speed and accuracy, strumming, bends, harmonics, and whammy bar tricks to spice up your guitar solos, and dozens of licks that will sound awesome in your solos. If you were to buy this on the website a few months back, it would have cost you $99, but you get it free when you order today. And if you order right now, you'll also get my Music Theory Made Easy 2.0 course free. It originally sold for $99 and covers all the music theory shortcuts you need to play freely across the entire fretboard and really get creative when it comes time to solo. With this course, you're going to overcome problems like worrying about what scale will sound good for leads and alternative scales you can use to improvise better solos than you ever thought possible. You won't have to worry about feeling lost or confused because your fingers will be trained to instantly find the right notes without any hesitation. So to recap, you get to start my new 6-week soloing challenge, which starts on May 2nd, and all the great bonuses I just mentioned for 3 payments of $26.80 or 1 payment of $67. And you're protected by our 30-day guarantee. Truly, put it to the test for a full 30 days and see if it's right for you. And if you don't think it's a good fit, no big deal. Just contact our friendly support team and they'll issue you a full refund or exchange. No questions asked, no receipt required. However, I can only offer this price and bonuses for a short time. After that, the price increases to $199 and the bonuses won't be included. So click the button below and get started today. As soon as you place your order, you'll get a receipt in your email with instructions on how to access the course. You'll also get an email with your link to join the private Facebook group for challenge members and immediate access to the Essential Techniques and Music Theory Made Easy 2.0 bonus courses. If you want a simple way to put all the the pieces together to play solos that tell a story across the fretboard, then you're absolutely going to love 6-Week Soloing Challenge. And it's simple to get started. You log into the course and watch your first short video, and as you build your skills, you move to the next video. You complete the weekly accountability activities and attend the weekly live sessions, always at your own pace. You can watch and repeat lessons as many times as you need, and your soloing ability will skyrocket. Remember, this could easily sell for $1,000, but you can have it today for only 3 payments of $26.80 or 1 payment of $67. And when you order, you'll also get an email with the link to the private Facebook group and immediate access to the Essential Techniques and Music Theory Made Easy 2.0 courses. You'll learn all the techniques you need to play killer solos and all the scales you need to improvise solos over any song. The 6 live sessions and bonuses alone have a $918 value, and you get our 30-day guarantee. But remember, I can only offer this price and bonuses for a short time. After that, the price increases to $199 and the bonuses won't be included. So click the button below and get started today. Okay, so hopefully that video worked for you. I think it did. Okay, so again, if you're interested, click the button or the link or whatever, check this out and join me. This is going to be a lot of fun, I'm telling you. I'm excited. I'm excited for me. I'm excited for you. This is going to be fun to hang out. So week 4, what we're going to get into is more in-depth study of phrasing, okay? Repetition, dynamics, the approaches that I use on the fretboard, intervallic playing, learning how to think about playing vertically versus horizontally. You know, all those kinds of things I think are just really important. And there's just so many cool things that we can do to make our music sound, our solo sound more musical, right? Not just plotting those points and connecting them, but really allowing ourselves to let go and have some fun. And it's really important to think about that. So that's what week 4 is going to be, is dialing in those. Intervallic playing for me is trying to change up so you're not just going that when you play. And that can be fun. You know, we can turn that into all kinds of different things. But for me, intervallic playing is learning how to change the sound of it. Or maybe we do some single string horizontal playing. Because it has such a nice piano kind of sound. You see, as opposed to just running through a scale. And I love to play that kind of thing. So there's lots of different approaches like that we're going to talk about. And then we get to week 5, and week 5 is we're going to start adding in licks, patterns, sequences, all that kind of stuff into your playing. And then finally, in week 6, we're going to take all of this stuff and pull it together, and we're going to try and do some actual soloing over real-world situations. So you're going to listen to the tracks, and you're going to try and put it all together. That's where it all comes together. And yeah, it's going to be super cool. So anyway, I hope that makes sense. I hope I didn't miss anything. Going live, private Facebook group, all the live sessions will be posted. We're going to hang out during the live sessions and talk. You can ask questions. I'm going to answer those questions. We're going to keep the conversations relative to the week's discussions though, right? So I don't want to be in week 1 talking about tapping licks, right? Because again, that's how we get lost. I want to stay focused. So our conversation for week 1 needs to be, you know, revolving around the topics of week 1 and then week 2 and so on like that. And it's not that we can't get into week 3 and you don't have questions about week 2. It's okay. We can totally do that. I just don't want to get too far ahead to where you or somebody else feels overwhelmed, because that is not what I want to have happen. You're going to learn a lot of stuff, but you're going to have 6 weeks to do all of this. Okay. So, and then again, there's the bonus courses that, you know, tether to everything that we're talking about in this soloing challenge. And Derek's going to be there to help us throughout the way. So I hope that all makes sense. So anyway, I know this has already taken quite a bit of time, and hopefully you've already learned something, but please do me a favor, click on the link, check out the soloing challenge and see if it's something that you're interested in. And May 2nd, we're going to start, and I hope to see you all there. All right. So take care, stay positive, and I'll talk to you soon. Okay.